See the basic concepts of we have already seen the basic concepts of the complex number. Now I'm moving to next, that is the syllabus, that is the functions. Now we are seeing function of a complex variable, limit, continuity and differentiability. So we have already, you guys already come across with these functions of limit, continuity and differentiability in your real variable. So that is in the variable x or in the y or any number. But we are seeing these definitions in the complex variable. In the complex variable, now we are discussing all these topics, that is limits, continuity and differentiability. These three topics you have already come across within your PU, but that is in your real variable, but it is not a real variable. Here we are studying the complex variable. So under the complex number we are discussing these topics now. So to discuss this topic, first we have to know the function of a complex variable. First I am going to take the topic, that is function of a complex variable. Function of a complex variable. So what is the function of a complex variable? Suppose if it is possible to find one or more variable, one or more complex numbers w for every value of z. For every value of z, if it is possible to find one or more complex numbers w in a certain domain d, in a certain domain d, in a certain domain d, we say that w is a function of z. Then we say that w is a function of z. In other words, we can also define it as w equal to f of z, where w is said to be a single or many valued function of z. Single valued and many valued function means, you know that suppose if you find the value of x equal to 2 or x equal to plus or minus 2, that indicates single valued and many valued function. It is a single valued and it is plus or minus 2 valued, like that. That is the meaning of single valued and many valued functions. So that if w equal to f of z, then it is called a function of the where z is a complex variable, where z is a complex number, that is indicated by x plus iy. Suppose w is a function of the complex variable, then it is indicated by w equal to f of z, where w is said to be a single valued or many valued function of z. According for the given value of z, based on the value of the z, we get a values of the w. So that is the definition of the, and we indicate it by w equal to f of z. So here we know that z equal to x plus iy, or also we can indicate it as z equal to, and we can also indicate it as z equal to r into e raised to I theta, and w equal to f of z. So that we can write it in the Cartesian form, u plus I into v, where both u and v are the functions of x and y. That is called the function of a complex variable. And we can also indicate it in the polar form, that is u of r comma theta, I into v of r comma theta. U and v are the functions of the variable r and theta. That is polar form and Cartesian form of the complex variable. Function of a complex variable in both Cartesian and polar form. So now I am taking an example here. Suppose f of z equal to z square. So first I am going to take this in the Cartesian form. In the Cartesian form, in generally we take a f of z equal to u plus iv. Both u and v are the functions of x and y. And we know that z equal to x plus iy. Z equal to x plus iy and square taken as it is. F of z is replaced by u plus iv. Z is replaced by x plus iy. Now I am going to open the bracket. It is x square plus 2x y into I plus I into y whole square, that is x square. I square is minus 1 into y square plus I into 2xy. I just make a separation of the real and imaginary part here. Now compare it with your u plus iv. U is equivalent to x square minus y square. V is equals to 2xy. So that implies u equal to x square minus y square, v equal to 2xy. That is in the Cartesian form of the given function of the complex variable z square. Now I am taking the same in the polar form, f of z equal to z square. We know that f of z equal to u plus iv and z equal to e raised to r into e raised to I theta whole square. So see here, r into e raised to I theta whole square, we can write it as r square e raised to 2I theta r square. E raised to 2I theta can be written as cos 2 theta plus I sin 2 theta. And if you split it as r square cos 2 theta plus I into r square sin 2 theta. Now compare it with your u and v. U equal to r square cos 2 theta, v equal to r square sin 2 theta. So take a one more example, it will give the clear idea. F of z equal to log z. Suppose f of z equal to log z. So I am going to convert it into the polar form where the z equal to r into e raised to I theta and f of z equal to u plus iv. So log a into b equal to log a plus I theta into log e, that is log of e raised to m equal to m log e. So that log e is always a 1 log r plus I into theta. So that when you compare it with the LHS, u equal to log r, v equal to theta, that is the polar form. And also we know that r equal to, and finding the mod, r equal to square root of x square plus y square and theta equal to tan inverse of y by x. So that we can convert that in the form of u equal to log of square root of x square plus y square, u equal to log r, that is in the polar form, u equal to log of root x square plus y square, that is in the Cartesian form, v equal to theta, theta equal to tan inverse of y by x, that is v in terms of Cartesian, here it is v in terms of polar. So that is how we can convert the polar and Cartesian forms of the functions. And next I am moving to the next topic, that is limit. I hope you get clear idea of the function of a complex variable. Function of a complex variable means w equal to f of z, where w is a single valued or many valued function of a z according to the given value of a z. So next we are moving to the limit. As you have already come across in your previous, the limit x tends to a f of x equal to f of a or L. Here in generally we represent a limit either by LIM or by LT. We can indicate it in both symbols. We can use both symbols here. And now I am discussing the limit in the complex variable. Suppose a complex valued function f of z, a complex valued function f of z is defined in the neighborhood of a point z0 is said to have a limit L as z tends to z0 if every epsilon greater than 0, however small, there exists a positive real number delta such that mod f of z minus L should be less than epsilon when z minus z0 less than delta. This can be written as the limit z tends to z0, f of z should be equal to L. So what is the meaning of the definition? Here first you have to know the knowledge of z and z0 here. Here the neighborhood means nearest value of the z0, not exactly z0. Nearest value of the z0. Neighborhood means nearest value of the z0. Here you know the path of we can indicate a z in the xy plane. Z is indicated in x and y plane.